The shiny reds and golds of the holiday season sparkle as tasty chocolate treats are carefully wrapped and presents are packaged. In just a few weeks, these sweet treats will fill stockings and grace Christmas trees, waiting for chocolate lovers all around the world. In the chocolate business, it's never too late to start preparing for Christmas. And at Rogers Chocolates, these packing professionals have an extra jump in their step. The big day is only weeks away.
Okay, be honest. If you were in charge of one of Victoria's most popular chocolate shops, you'd probably be in here testing and tasting to make sure every chocolate is just right. But for Steve Parkhill, it's not one of the perks of the job.
I have chocolate every day, just not a mountain of it.
But the irony of it all is that this president of Rogers Chocolates is a diabetic, diagnosed with type 2 diabetes about 4 years ago, right when he was being interviewed for the job.
I was wondering why me, like most other people that go through that initial phase, because I played a lot of sports, I exercise regularly, I eat a lot, but I was in good shape.
But Parkhill met the challenge head on, cutting out most of the sugar and starches from his diet and ramping up his exercise routine.
I was already exercising a lot, so again, you just tweak that to a little more cardio, and I figured the more I exercised and the better shape I was in, the more food choices I would have.
About 10% of people with diabetes have type 1, where the pancreas is unable to produce enough insulin, a hormone that controls the amount of sugar in the blood. But 90% of diabetics have type 2, where the body also can't use the insulin effectively and the sugars are absorbed into the muscles and organs. For the Parkhills, it runs in the family. Steve's mom has type 1 diabetes, and his brother Jason, who recently took a job with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, has type 2.
For people who are type 2 diabetics, getting this news hopefully can be a wake-up call, because often when you get this news, you're still able to turn it back. You can still stop it from being fully manifesting in your body. You just need a little bit of blood.
Like millions of other Canadians, the Parkhills test their blood twice a day, making sure their sugar levels are where they're supposed to be. And Jason hopes that by giving us this demonstration and by talking about the challenges of diabetes, it will help lessen the stigma.
With the type 2 diabetics in children and in adults, it's difficult, because they look at you and they say, well, you have type 2 diabetes, you must be lazy, you must be fat. It's a disease.
More than 9 million people in Canada are living with the disease, and the Canadian Diabetes Association says that number is growing quickly and becoming an epidemic.
That's the combined populations of Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI, Newfoundland and Labrador, Nunavut, Northwest Territories, and the Yukon. That's a lot of people. We should be very concerned.
But while the numbers are increasing in Canada and worldwide, Holder says most of the power over type 2 diabetes is in our own hands.
The best thing you can do again is to exercise, get moving. You can reduce your blood sugar immediately with some exercise, and for the long term as well.
The World Diabetes Federation has released a report indicating the number of people with diabetes is expected to grow to 10% of the world population by 2030. That means more than 550 million people will have the disease worldwide in less than 20 years. In Victoria, I'm Nikki Ewanyshyn for The Daily.